If you're in a relationship right now, I hope this doesn't ruin it for you, but you may never look at your partner the same because they're just not going to match up to this Adonis I'm about to show you. The self-described 0.5% boyfriend on the planet. He's pretty much everything you could ever want in a partner, and we get to see that firsthand as he brags to his ex about all of the matches he's getting on Hinge. So the background is these two were dating. He is apparently a doctor, she's a nurse, they broke up. I can't imagine why with the way he talks in these text messages. He seems like a very secure, stable individual. So I don't know what the conversation was that was preceding this, but he says, if you are even thinking it, I'm down for an open relationship. You and I can do whatever we want. I'll probably sleep with someone before January anyway. The benevolent saint read her mind, knew that she was thinking like, I kind of want to still fuck this guy. So he let her know right up front that he's definitely still down for that, but he's going to have to pencil her in around this upcoming coitus session that's going to happen before January, no doubt. Like I said, I don't know what the conversation was that preceded it, but it was probably some shit like, hey, can you come collect your stuff? And he's like, listen. I know what you're thinking. And the answer is yes. I will still fuck you in this open relationship that you desperately want us to be in. I'm okay with that. I'll make that sacrifice. She rejects that generous offer, saying she's looking for a boyfriend. He says, okay, offer stands. Immaculate business acumen, letting her know that the offer is still on the table when she comes to her senses. Always down to clap cheeks and get head. Speaking like Duke Nukem out here. I came to be a weirdo loser to my ex and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of gum. And then he just for some reason throws this in there. This is out of control. 14 convos, day 1 of Hinge. Oh, you can just taste the tears. He is trying so hard to make it seem like he's moving on and is actually very happy that the relationship has ended. Look at how many conversations he's having on Hinge. He needs to brag about it to his ex. I also imagine a chunk of those conversations are with bots. This is like the guy who brags about all the sexy singles from his area that he's talking to after clicking on a porn banner. But either way, he's just trying to go out of his way to be an asshole to his ex to make her feel bad. Just unprompted sending Hinge conversations he's been having with other women. When he doesn't get any response, he starts spiraling and melting down, monologuing like a cartoon villain. I mean, obviously most of these girls would be an upgrade, so why would I get back with a broke girl who isn't even close to finishing school? You pushed me into something better. You literally asked me to get a gun. I don't have any ammunition and it's locked in a case when it gets here. Just another example of stupid communication. Such a stupid and confusing girl. I'm getting updated headshots once I'm all tanned up from Vegas from 2 professional photographers. And I update my wardrobe so everyone will get to see the new hairline. Oh. Jeepers creepers. Man's got the Rogaine foam out and he's getting very excited to showcase it in his new Crocs and Hawaiian t-shirt. Probably use your birthday money for it. That was supposed to be a little dagger to jab her with. I'm using your birthday money for this, by the way. Brother, the relationship's over. I doubt she really cares what you use it for. Go ballistic, man. If you want to keep spamming minoxidil on your Tommy Pickles head, go crazy. Also, like clockwork with every single meltdown, it's always, well, I was actually like settling for you. You're like super beneath me. You're broke, and everyone I'm meeting on Hinge is clearly an upgrade. This was like the best thing that's ever happened to me, and I cannot stop smiling about it because now look at all of these upgrades that I'm getting on Hinge from you. Like I was doing you a favor by being with you. He then also had the courtesy to show her what the photos are going to look like when they're done. Photos going to look something like this. I want to take some photos together as well at a festival and some action shots doing hobbies. It's going to be fun and likely boost my profile even more. I'm already overwhelmed though. Right now I've got a serious case of stick-it-to-the-man-neosis from just getting too much pussy, but I'd like to elevate my profile a bit more so I can reach challenger rank on Hinge. He then just sends some random photos of dudes he saw on Google Images, typing in things like man on bike and stuff like that, and he just sends those randomly. There's no doubt in my mind he didn't actually plan any photography sessions. He just wanted some shit here to like brag about, kind of like, look at how much better I'm doing. Check out these like new photos I'm going to be doing. Like I'm going to be riding a bike. These action shots of me doing my hobbies of undressing anime figurines, they're going to go crazy on Hinge and people are going to love them. Honestly, my ultimate goal is to find someone with an impressive career who comes from a good family. That's something I really missed with you and stressed me out. I want my children to aspire to be great, and your family reeks with complacency. Who asked? This man's just fucking vomiting all the spaghetti in his brain here. He's just fucking dumping nonsense. Who is asking you what your goals are? Nobody cares. Hypergamy is real. Women with great careers don't want partners who are less educated or make less money. I'm in the top 0.5%, so it puts me in an elite group when I finish. I really want to see what I can find once I beef things up on the profile. 70% of people nowadays meet each other online. He's got the stats, and the stats say that he should be happy, so he is happy. He's super happy because he's the 0.5% in an elite group of boyfriend material. So you know he's happy. You can tell he is just beaming with enthusiasm, with joy. It's the holly jolly season, and he is feeling the spirit. He just keeps going on and on. I'll just date for fun until someone comes along worth marrying, kind of like what I did with you. Literally pages of glizzy gobblers. I'm the MIDI king. Oh man, he's slaying. Yeah, he's putting in the work right now. You can just see it. Calling them glizzy gobblers and MIDI. He keeps referring to all of his matches as MIDI. He's actively just putting down all of the women that find him attractive. Like, he doesn't even find them good looking. I think he just swiped right on every single person with a pulse on Hinge over a 24-hour period and managed to get 14 matches. And now he's just calling himself the MIDI king. At least these middies won't give me such a headache like you did, won't lie to me about everything and manipulate me into getting a gun and then tell me they think I'm going to shoot them. You are the insane one, walking red flag. Yeah, he comes across as a pretty sane guy, so if he's calling someone insane, you know that holds water. There's no red flags I've picked up on here yet from this guy. I would never marry a woman like you. Fakest person I know. The whole sweet girl thing is such a facade. Your family knows the angry, manipulative, stubborn bitch you are on the inside. Like I said, I don't want you back. I want to date these girls and have fun until I meet someone worth marrying. But always down to fuck you and get head. I'm just not going to be exclusive anymore. I don't marry middies. Now you can hang out as much as you want with your simp guy friends who get no pussy. It's a symbiotic relationship. A depressed and insecure girl who needs validation and 4 out of 10 or lower guys with no ambition or drive or any redeeming qualities that would make them dateable getting some attention from a middie. And she just says, stop texting me. This dude talks like those loveless virgins on Twitter that are always whining and crying on there about women. It's so... I don't even know where I would start with unpacking this one. It's just pathetic. Like, this is a doctor, apparently? What in tarnation? Dr. Dork, maybe? But jeepers. Wow. Anyway, this is what a 0.5% mate looks like. This is like the elite group of boyfriends, and unfortunately, she didn't realize how lucky she got. She hit the lottery jackpot, and now, well, he's seen the light. So now he gets to go on Hinge and be the king of middies, as he says. He loves the middies, but he'd never marry one. He's clearly over his previous relationship, which is why he's sending paragraphs to his ex bragging about this and just spitting out his goals and all kinds of insults towards her and her family and everything. He's absolutely happier now. It's very evident. But I would like to move on to another short adventure that I went on through some text messages today. This is a very brief one. A Redditor had a friend that made a purchase that ended up being a bit of a scam, and it's a purchase that I can actually relate to in a pretty big way. It's a sex doll. So he was saying that the pictures that he purchased from looked nothing like the product he received, saying he's disappointed. His friend is just laughing at his trauma though, which I think is just very rude. This guy is clearly going through it. He just got scammed. He was looking for love. He didn't get what he ordered. There's so many things that most people should be able to pump their fist behind and say, yes, this man was wronged. I am on his side. He bought a sex doll and didn't receive the one that he had ordered. So he said, I should have let the process facility cancel the order and never reordered it back. His friend continues to laugh at him. I'm throwing it away tomorrow or something. He's still getting laughed at. He then says, bro, even the fucking Ona hole is too small. I don't know what the Ona hole is. That might be like a trademarked part of the sex doll. I don't know his particular model, but that might be like patent pending technology. He's trying to set his friend straight here, letting him know, like, hey, this isn't really the hilarious situation you think it is. It's a big scam. I ordered sitting position, it came in standing position, stupid seller, scammer. He then sends a picture of the sex doll that he received. It's not the highest quality item, I'll be the first to admit here. This looks like you're having sex with a Sega Dreamcast character. It's basically just a big noodle with a Google image face on it. The company that produced this should be ashamed of themselves. They didn't even have the decency of putting titties on it. This looks like one of Floop's Fluglies from Spy Kids. So unfortunately, there's a huge scammer on the loose, so buyer beware if you're in the market for any sex dolls. But the reason I said I can relate to this is because I actually had a sex doll that looked remarkably similar to that. Many of you may remember a few years ago when I was in my competition with Belle Delphine, where I had like the craziest collection of sex toys and dildos, fleshlights, all of that. The whole 9 yards there, the kit and caboodle of all the sex toys. One of the items I had that I mentioned and showed in a couple videos was a sex doll that looked very close to that. Not the exact same model. It was this one. Now, at the very least, that model at least had titties on it and a usable mouth hole if your cock was 2 inches long. The gentle sir on Reddit, it didn't even have that. It was actually just like a piece of printer paper with a woman's face glued on to an inflatable thing, an inflatable tube thing, really. Like, I didn't even see any holes I censored it myself. I didn't even see any holes on his model. The one I had at least did have all of that, but you would be a damn fool to try and fuck it, because that sex doll I had, it was like made out of broken glass. It was like the sharpest material ever. If you did put your cock in it, it wasn't coming out in one piece. It'd be sliced and diced. It'd be like sticking your cock in a wood chipper. It was completely unusable for that purpose, which is why I had it as kind of like a background object where I put like a shirt on her. Now, God rest her soul, she's no longer with us, unfortunately. She melted at the warehouse, as did most of my collection of sex toys, because the Florida heat was not kind to them in an unventilated building. They didn't appreciate that very much, so pretty much everything melted. But yeah, I can relate to his purchase here, because what he received, since he was actually buying it to have sex with it, he would not have been successful with it. I can tell you for sure, because I had something similar, and there is no human being on the planet, no matter how masochistic, that would actually fuck it and be pleased. They would be in excruciating pain and miserable. The agony would be overriding any sense of pleasure they could have possibly felt. So yeah, I just wanted to briefly talk about that on the back of talking about the awesome boyfriend. Anyway, that's about it. See ya.